So today, it's about the battle of the boards, and whoever wins that battle is probably going to win this game, Jack.
We can't wait. Both teams on 5-game win streaks, and we are ready to rock at Assembly Hall. It is Indiana with it first, and Shay Ciezki, the transfer from Penn State, finds Garzon. They've blown the roof off this place to start. Wisconsin the rebound and ready for their first possession. Wisconsin loves to play slow and inside. Carter McRae for 2.
Well, exactly what you just said, Jack. It was very methodical. They were very intentional about going inside. You know it was either going to go to Williams or McRae on this first possession.
A little fade from Ciezki, comes up short. Williams cleans up the glass again. That's already 2 rebounds for her. She averages 12 a game.
No Big Ten player has ever led the country in rebounding.
Here's a turnover for Wisconsin. Chloe Moore-McNeil can't convert, but she was fouled. And here's Chloe Moore-McNeil when she's at her best, one of the most well-rounded point guards in the entire country. There is Marissa Mosley. She said at this point, Wisconsin's really made progress every year under her. The team expects to win. She doesn't have to be as much of a morale coach during timeouts. Came to her first basketball camp here at Assembly Hall at 12 years old. Grew up 45 minutes away in Seymour. Grew up rooting for Bobby Knight, the Hoosiers, and has elevated Indiana to its best era in program history. Baseline, Porter had it blocked. A fortunate bounce right to McRae, who scores again.
What a great addition to this Wisconsin program. You already have one of the best post players in the country in Sarah Williams, and now you add a nice complement, 19 career double-doubles with McRae.
Transfer from Northern Kentucky has been great, and Meister has really found the post for Williams, and nearly got a friendly bounce. Ends up with Meister. Looked like it was going in.
And Sarah Williams, I know she missed that shot, but that was a nice touch, and that's one of the ways in which she's improved her game. Not just back-to-basket power moves. She turns the ball over right there.
Second early turnover for Wisconsin, and pays off for 2 for Ciezki. Now it's Myers, a great 3-point shooter. Deep 2-no. Ciezki the rebound. Getting up and down here. This favors Indiana. A little shifty from Moore-McNeil. And was cut off well by Douglas. Garzon for 3. Off the curl. It's Myers and rejected. Garzon got all of it. Corner, Parrish chooses baseline. Bounce pass. Meister. And a big part of Indiana's success so far. Carter McRae has the only 2 baskets for Wisconsin, but missed on the reverse. Caroline Strickland in the game for Indiana. Defending. Corner 3, Garzon. Got her second. We saw the spacing there for the Indiana offense that has been a point of emphasis since a slow start, losing games to Harvard and Butler. A 1-2 start for Indiana this year. That was Cron coming off the bench, the pull-up.
Well, and that was one of my keys for Indiana coming into this game, is their ability to spread Wisconsin out and shoot threes in transition. They're executing it to a T.
What a find to Garzon down below.
Because Indiana shoots the 3 so well, now it's opened up opportunities to get back cuts and off-ball screens.
Yarden Garzon with 8 early for the Hoosiers, on top by 9. Both teams going for their 6th straight win today. Steal for Ciezki. Indiana on the break. Bargesser running alongside, and Ciezki takes it herself. It's their 3rd true road game of the year. Their biggest test today. There's Garzon with the block on Jimenez. Blocks and steals galore to start for Indiana. Ciezki knocks it down.
Scalia, the recent Indiana shooter, she can shoot the ball, not as well as Sarah Scalia, but she can shoot the ball, but she can also do what we just saw her do, mid-range jumpers and get to the rim.
Runs off the mark. And that's something Shay Ciezki mentioned when she was making her decision on where to transfer from Penn State.
Great, and like we mentioned earlier, Indiana's always been a very proficient offensive team, but defense that's Terry Moran's thing, just to that. And so they were learning how to play without McKenzie. That's what Indiana was doing. Lost to Harvard, the loss to Butler, so much better. step up, seeing who's going to emerge, who's going to take over that role. And for Indiana, it's Garzon.
Williams can't convert on the inside. Second try, finally bounces home. Williams has had a rough start. Indiana just had a 20-2 run, on top by 13 early. Ciezki's mid-range game has been strong to start, rolls off, and it's an offensive foul.
Improvement that they've made both offensively but also defensively as well. This is a very good defensive team coming into this ball game. So when you can play defense at the level that Wisconsin can, then a 20-point lead is insurmountable.
Strickland misses it on the rim run, and Wisconsin gets a three, gets a stop, chance to make it single digits, and Myers does. Just 61 a game. Indiana's had their way, though, to start offensively. An 8-0 spurt for Wisconsin. Vargas or no, Williams the rebound. Wisconsin clawing back in at the end of the first quarter.
And that's
10-2, Shimmy.
That's the difference between this year's Wisconsin team and Wisconsin's team of the past. In the past, Wisconsin digs himself into a hole, they probably don't come out of it.
They've had multiple comeback wins this year.
Absolutely, Jack. This year is different.
Williams a rare deep two with the shot clock winding. Offensive rebound to Porter, and she hits a three. Different level playing in the Big Ten in her first year against the top competition. 5 to shoot. Moore-McNeil. And Wisconsin closes the quarter with a stop.
He's got a couple of grad transfers, grad students out there, you know, to kind of take away the sting of those early shakeups like they had to start this first quarter. This is a totally different Wisconsin program.
That resiliency has helped them come back multiple times for wins this year. Their best start in 15 years at 10-2. That's the 5th block for Indiana already. Meister, rim run, missed it. A little bit out of control, full speed.
Well, Indiana is one of the longest teams in the Big Ten. You can't tell the difference between their forwards and their guards because of their size and length. I would like to see Wisconsin get to the rim and stop shooting so many pull-up jumpers.
Douglas trying to do that. Parrish was all over him. We are pretty close, and Wisconsin's quieted this crowd, so maybe
sit here and keep getting my shot blocked. Let's get to the rim.
A glue player for this team in her 4th season. This is a new level for Wisconsin this year.
And I love the fact that she came back for another year. I love that Natalie Reisinger came back for another year. It says a lot about not only the experience that they've had while they were here as undergrad students, but also about the continued culture that Marissa Mosley's building. How she started this year is not indicative of the type of shooter that she is. Great shot by Lilly Meister. If there's a such thing as a bad miss, that was it.
Curling, here's Garzon. Meister rattles it home this time. But this is Indiana. Hoosiers playing well early. And off the mark, out to Moore-McNeil. Indiana with 27 assists each of their last 2 games. What a find to Meister.
Just their ball movement, their unselfishness. 65% of their baskets are assisted.
Williams pounding down low for 2.
She's still no match, 101 for Sarah Williams.
4 points now for Williams. Garzon off the catch and finish. And Wisconsin back to work with a fresh 20. And down by 10, second quarter. Both teams going for their 6th straight win today. Trying to start Big Ten play 2-0. Porter no on the floater. Garzon rips it away. And Indiana running. 3-on-1. Parrish.
And McCray, for as good as she is, as far as scoring, production, and rebounding, she's a little undersized as a post player.
And that is exactly where they want Williams to catch the ball. Into the corner, they left Sandvik open, and she makes a pay. And some good early minutes for the Hoosiers in the first half. Williams back to her left, and a foul. There's just a crispness to it. And we saw it in shoot-around today. Absolutely carried over. It seemed like the break was a good thing for them. They were playing well going into the break. To reset a little bit. Shooting numbers, the confidence high. And we've seen that already today.
Their assists are up. Their turnovers are down. I can't emphasize enough how challenging it is to play. I mean, this is the first time in over 5 years that they haven't had Mackenzie Hull and ask questions. And why wouldn't you? She is the best to have done it in a Hoosiers uniform.
Garzon could not convert on the bank. Wisconsin down 12, under 4 to go here in the first half. Williams trying to find a rhythm, spinning to her left. Nothing is there. And a pass intercepted by Ciezki. Indiana's been on the run a lot, and Ciezki spins it home.
And I actually don't have a problem, an issue with their schedule. I think Marissa did a good job of scheduling to where the program is now.
Right.
They scheduled some decent mid-majors. We talked about Butler, Georgetown, Providence, these solid teams. I think next year we'll probably see a little more P4 schools and their non-con.
And off the outlet, Ciezki hits. I'm right with you. 16-point lead, the largest for Indiana. 45 seconds to go in the first half. Garzon got a hand on it, and Williams finds McQuay. Got to get it up. Myers did, and barely missed. Indiana can wind it almost all the way down if they want. Ciezki choosing to push. And Garzon, the veteran, says, let's slow it down here. Reminder to stick around for the All-State halftime report coming up in about 15 seconds. Shot clock winding. It's at 5. Ciezki off the shot fake. Driving kick. Moore-McNeil. Got her through. A perfect way to close the half for the Hoosiers. They dropped 42. She pleaded for her team to do.
This is what she wants. And she said, hey, if you get a stop and you get a defensive rebound, then you can run as much as you want, almost kind of like dangling that carrot, like being able to run and transition as a reward for what they're able to do on the defensive end. And it's worked.
Here's their first offensive possession of the second half. Hoosiers at 5-3, shot 47% from the floor in the first half. Ciezki really hit the corner 3. Ciezki has 10 points along with Garzon to lead the way for the Hoosiers.
Just really excited to see how Wisconsin is going to come out in his first few minutes of the third quarter and respond. We talked about the growth of this program. Well, let's see where they are now. We're used to seeing Wisconsin being a hole over the last couple years, but let's see how they respond.
Came out of the locker room with about 45 seconds until the second half. They certainly got a long talking to.
I would have definitely liked to have seen Lilly Meister just go right at Tess.
Right back to her, and she scores this time.
Second time's a charm.
Double figures now for Meister with 10. The balance, the passing just looks like what we've seen from Indiana over the last 5 years.
Basketball is a very simple sport when done correctly. It's not about the complexity of the plays. It's just making simple plays.
The transfer from Northern Kentucky does not have an off switch to her game. And a miss from Moore-McNeil on the baseline.
I like her growth that she's shown this year.
Taking on the challenge with a full head of steam. Williams, a rare outside shot. Maybe that gets her going. Wisconsin within 15. Back to Meister, and she got the foul call. Juju Watkins, the next sensation in women's college basketball.
And she's got the name for it, too.
Oh.
Like, is that not a superstar's name or what? Like Juju Watkins.
Wisconsin also coming into this game on a 5-game win streak, but struggling on the road in their third true road game of the season. Only 2 to shoot. Lightzinger hoists. And hits the top of the backboard. Marissa Mosley willing to change things up. And here's some zone press from Wisconsin. Across the way for Garzon. That pass has been open throughout the game, and Indiana has had multiple open shots because of it. More zone for Wisconsin. Parrish. You can't leave her there.
And again, for me, it's going to be all about the response. That's what I'm looking for with Wisconsin. A true testament of their growth as a program.
And that's a good start from Lilly Cron.
A great start.
Wisconsin had an 11-0 run with the 3-ball. Got a 3, got a stop. They'll have to convert. Deflection, steal for Parrish. Indiana running again. Sandvik out to Parrish, fires away, and cashes in.
Watch some film and just really focus on the main thing. And now she's not thinking about her shot now as she's come back these last 2 games.
Porter's too strong, only 3 to shoot. Strickland the rebound. Parrish has the outlet. She started 3 for 25 from 3 on the year. Much better over the last game plus. Off the bounce, finds a cutting Strickland.
Wisconsin closes out hard, and she's able to attack the closeout and get an assist to her teammate.
And Wisconsin all out of sorts. Moore-McNeil found Parrish. Indiana looks phenomenal.
Just completely on Garzon, Jack. You got Sydney Parrish. That's why they brought in Shay Ciezki, and of course the emergence of Lilly Meister.
Specifically in that post, you're also getting more production from those 2 players.
Power players. So when Indiana goes to their ball screen.
Inside for Meister and goes to that left. Jimenez going right to the hoop. Good idea, but too strong. Vargasser pushing the other way. Ciezki off the bounce, back to Vargasser. Ball movement. LaMendola. Just dead and right in. That's the type of day it's been for the Hoosiers.
I like LaMendola. I think she's a nice player. She's a big guard. You've seen her getting a lot more playing time this year. She's agile. She's athletic enough. You know what? There's no such thing as an ugly bucket. 3 points is 3 points. Well, maybe off the glass, straight on off the glass. So I take that back.
I think there is such thing as an ugly bucket. That was pretty from Meister.
That was not an ugly bucket. That was a nice rip.
16 points for Meister to lead the Hoosiers. Nearing her career high of 20 with still a quarter to go. Williams has had a really tough day, like her team. And she traveled.
But that's a nice move if she can master that. And that's what you have to do. You have to be creative when you're being double teamed and triple teamed as much as Sarah Williams is.
There's something about Garzon at the end of a quarter. She does it again. I'm right there with you. I don't think I could run a mile if someone paid me right now.
Yeah, that's how I was getting back into the gym after Christmas. Started out strong, faded fast.
I see a lot more people in the gym after New Year's with those resolutions. Garzon is taken out by Leitzinger.
It's just an unfortunate collision.
Absolutely. Great to see her walk under her own power. You would have to imagine Terry Morin will not check her back in if there's any doubt, with the game well out of hand at this point. LaMendola back in. And McNeil with the shake. Out to LaMendola. Spinning, might have walked. Got away with it. 2 to shoot. Moore-McNeil goes off the heel. And Ronnie Porter at 5'4" pulls down the rebound. The way they handled another strong post player, Gracie Merkel at Penn State, and what they've done today, it really looks like the Indiana of old over the last month or so. As Williams finally finds a crease.
It's about playing for March, not necessarily November and December.
Meister, the three-point play chance.
A wonderful story of development.
And waiting, not going into the transfer portal. Getting her opportunity and seizing it. Both parents for Lilly, Kurt and Angie, played basketball at South Dakota State. Got some great genes and a great season so far. From the elbow, it's Williams.
It's the easiest way to beat a zone defense. Just a nice flash to the ball.
Inside McCray, got position on Strickland.
Because of McCray is a little undersized, especially at this Big Ten level, she does a really good job of using her body to shield up.
She still commands the offense, and that's what they need from her right now.
In their losses, that number's been reversed. She's less than one.
I can't let performances like that happen, and they have been outstanding ever since.
And I respect that, as she should. She's a graduate player. She's a grad student. This is her 5th year in this program, so she's supposed to take some ownership like that.
Wisconsin made it interesting following the first quarter.
1994 Penn State team. They were number one. I remember they beat us so bad, Jack, that I didn't even want to go to class the next day. It was like our one game that was on television.
A top team from what you've seen in the Big Ten. Who'd you go with?
Well, obviously, I mean, UCLA. I mean, they're number one. You're used to the UConn team, like the way USC scores the ball. I don't know. Past Iowa, right? Because they can score the ball. Indiana, sure, because they had the nice balance. That's what makes this league so special, Jack, is the balance of this league from top to bottom. I believe that UCLA can come in here next week and lose to Indiana just as easily as I believe UCLA could run the table. You just don't know with this league.
So Iowa lose here late in the season last year. Indiana will try to pull the stunner on Fox at noon. Coming up next Saturday. And there's Meister. I've got one on the way. I'll take any advice I can get right now.
You'll know exactly what I'm talking about in a couple of minutes.
There's Lilly Cron for 3. Led to Ciezki here. Stopping by and rolls on. He said she plays bigger than she is. There's a walk on Spasovsky.
I mean, this is tough. It was fun to see them dig themselves into that hole early and then come out of it. And they were able to do that with their defense. They knocked down a couple threes, but they found themselves right back behind the 8 ball, and it's just been a tough going, a tough afternoon.
And the putback for Sandvik. Again, this game was 21-17 after the first quarter. All Indiana since. Douglas tried the tough scoop and did get fouled.
Over 10 years of this program, shooting the 3 so well.
What a day for her. Might not get back in the game at this point, matching her career high of 20.
Well, she's got the rest of the season to get that 21, 22 points.
And a strip from Bargesser. Indiana has been active defensively all day with blocks and steals. There's a block for Wisconsin. A big one. And Jimenez the other way is fouled. It's a tighter turnaround for Wisconsin. Tuesday game with Chris Bosters and Autumn Johnson.
And that's exactly what you want if you're Wisconsin. Wisconsin doesn't have time for that. They've got to get right back at it.
Jimenez with a little bit. Jimmy is advocating for the young players to get tougher here.
Those words did not come out of my mouth, Jack. That's you.
Yeah, we know exactly what you meant. Inside, good catch for LaMendola, and a nice finish too. Gina Cross, Natasha Kamey, Jamie Broderick did a nice job today. And coming up after the conclusion of this one, just under a minute away, we'll get you out to Minnesota. LaMendola, straight line drive, and it rolls home, plus the foul.
This is how players grow their minute.
LaMendola out of Coppell, Texas, in the northwestern suburbs of Dallas. Patty Bandla had it blocked by Wiseman. Wiseman picked it up. That was Sandvik with the block.
Paces of play. Wisconsin a little slower than Indiana, and their defense did so much for them offensively today.
Can't run if you don't get stops, and they got plenty of stops today.
That's right.
Crowd was a big factor in that second quarter when the Hoosiers took over.
Well, love that. That's why she's such a great coach. You're up 33 points.
Even in the win over Brown to start the year, they won by 20 plus, and she was furious after the game. Just small errors that she said can't happen in Big Ten play. There weren't many errors for Indiana today. A 31-point statement win over Wisconsin to move to 2-0 in Big Ten play.